Hi, I'm Richard, and this is my channel, Time Clock Freedom. In today's video, I want to talk about alternatives to going to college. Now, everybody in society needs to make money to survive. Our entire society is based around being able to buy whatever you need for your life. We're told that after high school, you got to go to college so you can get a job and make a lot of money, right? That's the traditional way. Well, there are other paths that are very seldom talked about. And in this video, I want to talk about some of those. I want you to know that there are this stuff that I've got written behind me that I'll explain as we go. In the description, I will have links to all this stuff that you can look into on your own and investigate further. And I hope you find something that helps you and gives you some more ideas on what you can do besides just going to college because that's what society says to do. So I hope you enjoy this video. Watch it to the end, please. There's a lot of information I'll cover. There's even more information in the description. And please like, subscribe, turn on the bell notification because this is the stuff I like to talk to people about and let them know that there are other options in their life besides the traditional paths. And I'll explain what all this scribbling is behind me as we go. So let's get started. All right, so before we get into all these alternatives that I want to tell you about for going to college, let's talk about the traditional paths that most people, at least here in the United States, are told that they can follow. First one is military. You always hear, well, if you're not going to go to school and you're not going to go to work, well, you need to go in the military. That's a very common thing that is heard here in the US. The next thing is, as I said, college. So when you get out, you go to college. That's just the way it is. College is basically turned into a secondary high school for students. The third thing is, well, if you're not going to the military, you're not going to college, you just need to get a job. Doesn't matter what it is, you just go get a job. Growing up here in the US, these are the three things that most people hear. Can't afford college, well, join the military. That way you can get a college degree, because that is an option, is to join the military to go get a college degree or to get training that you can't get anywhere else. Or, well, just go get a job. Doesn't matter what you do, you just got to get a job. This is the normal path that a lot of people hear all their life. You get out of high school, this is it. You got three options. When I was 18, I believe that because, well, I was 18 and had no life experience, and this is what I heard all my life. Go to the military, go to college, or go to get a job. And that's it. There were no options. Some of the things I'm going to talk about, that's true because they didn't exist when I was 18 and graduating high school. I wish they did. And I want to talk about those later on. So let's talk about college for a minute. I'm not saying college is a bad thing. This video is not meant to deter you from going to college. There are several things that if you want to have that career that you need to go to college for. Things like, a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer. Those are the kind of careers you need to go to college for. And I'll be honest, if I go to the hospital and I need surgery, I want my surgeon, my doctors, my nurses, the anesthesiologists, all those people to have a college degree. I want to make sure before anybody does anything to me that they really do know what they're doing. That they didn't just watch a bunch of YouTube videos and decide, I'm going to go take somebody's appendix out. There are some things you do need to go to college for. So I'm not going to say that college is evil, college is bad, nobody should go to college anymore. I just want people to know from this video that there are alternatives. If you're not going into, like I said, a doctor, lawyer, engineer, and things like that, you don't have to go to college. You can do other things. I've heard so many times that you have to go to college after high school. As long as you're alive, you can go to college. You can start college when you're 40 or 60. You don't have to go when you're in that 18, 19 years old, right after high school phase. You can do other things for a while. Try a different path, and if it doesn't work out, and you decide you can go to college when you're 25, you can do that. Now, there are some reasons why you don't go to college. When I was 18, I heard a lot of these stereotypes when you heard somebody wasn't going to college. And I'm ashamed to say I believed them when I was 18. Now that I've been out of school for 20 years and I've been out in the workforce, I've met a lot of people, I've done a lot of different jobs, I found out that those stereotypes, most of them are false. The only stereotype that I've heard for why people don't go to college is they don't have the money. College is expensive, depending on where you go. I Googled what is the common college cost here in 2021, and it ranged from 10 to 40K per semester. Where are you going to pay for that? You can get grants, you can get loans, you can get, depending where you go, it could be even more expensive, and how are you going to pay for it? So that's a half-truth stereotype. College is expensive, so some people don't go. Another stereotype is you're not smart enough to go to college. Well, isn't that why you go to college? Is because you are not smart in that area of study that you want to take. That's the whole point of getting an education. That's a very reverse psychology type of thought. Because if I already knew everything in that area of study, I wouldn't need to go to college. So I'm going to college because I'm not smart in that area to get that education. So I don't understand why people say, well, so-and-so is not smart enough to go to college. That's the whole point of going to college. Maybe there's no stereotypes. Maybe you just don't want to go. Maybe you've seen a list of degrees and you decided, nothing sounds good. I don't want to go to college. So why should I go and spend $10,000 to $40,000 a year for something I have no interest in? Is it because I'm told I should? Society tells me that. My parents tell me that. My family. So I should just go to college because I'm told to, which sadly a lot of people do. I wish people would not be afraid to tell family and friends that I'm not going to college just because I don't want to. They might use the other stereotypes like, well, I'm not smart enough or I don't have the money. Sometimes you just don't want to go. So don't. Find an alternative thing to do, which is what we're going to talk about in this video. All right, so now let's talk about something that's not one of these three traditional paths. First one I want to mention is trades or apprenticeships. And it's very strange to me because being an apprentice and learning a trade is one of the oldest forms of work that there is. Before we had colleges, the only way you learned how to do something was to be an apprentice to somebody that was already doing it. Now, in our current society, we can either go to college to learn those things, or a lesser talked about option is a trade school. I actually wished I would have realized that there were trade schools I could have gone to instead of going to college, because there's benefits. Some trade schools you get paid as you're learning, where at college you're only spending money to learn. So let's talk about trade schools. Have you ever seen those people that build houses and buildings and fix things? They are a trade, a hands-on trade. Traditionally, people think of trades as things like plumbers, electricians, carpenters, welders, auto mechanics. Anybody who does a hands-on trade. They have schools specifically designed to teach you those things. A trade school, many times you can get paid to learn. There is a shortage of people. There has been for many years, and I don't see it changing anytime soon. If you get into a trade, let's say you're an electrician, and you work your way up, and you live in a maybe bigger city, you can make some good money as an electrician, or a plumber, or an auto mechanic, and you can have lots of business. If you're willing to put in the hours you need, and if you learn the skills, you can make more than a lot of people who went up here and spent all this time and all this money in a college to get a degree. So that may be a better option. And when people talk about trades, they think of the ones I mentioned. You know, hands-on trades, building things. There are special schools, trade schools, for things like a chef, cosmetology, or your makeup. There's acting schools. The strange thing to me is trades are one of the oldest forms of schooling. We've drifted away from the idea that trades are good. Our society, here in the US at least, I've read that there are other countries where it's the opposite. People understand you need trades. You need that plumber, you need that electrician, you need that mechanic to fix your car, so their college rates are much lower. I wish the US would adapt to that trades are just as important as college. You need a doctor. You also need somebody that can fix your house when it's broken, or fix your car when it's broken. But here in the US, we devalue people that do trades. A very common stereotype is for plumbers and auto mechanics, well, they're stupid. They couldn't go to college, so they work on, the plumbing, they work on the cars. Well, anybody that's ever worked in those areas knows that, no, to work on the new cars, you really should go get ASE certified at a trade school, because you don't only need to know how the engine works, you need to know how the computers work and control everything. You need to know how to get into those, access those, understand them, how to fix them, things like that. When your car breaks down, the first thing you think is, well, I got to take it to a mechanic. Well, suddenly that person that you normally think, well, they're not very smart, that's why they became a mechanic, now is very important to you. Doesn't that seem kind of ridiculous that you think that way? You know, when your toilet backs up, what's the first thing people think of? Call a plumber. But yet, we make jokes about plumbers. We make jokes about what they do, and there's a lot of education that goes into things like plumbing and electricity because there are codes that change every year. These people that do these trades need to keep up on them. So I really wish that here in the US, trades would become or equally important than college because we need people that do trades every day. Look into trades. Find a local trade school. Look it up online. There are so many different trades. Let's talk about self-education. Let's put that up here. Self-education. What do I mean by this? You have so many options now with the internet that when I was 18 I didn't have. I wish I did. And I'm actually trying to learn now, which is why I'm making this video. Self-education is finding a course on your own. That's not a college course. Maybe it's not a trade, but it's something you want to learn and turn into an income. I think self-education is the best way of learning because you're actually studying what you want to study. You're not forced into picking a trade or picking a college course or whatever. Don't be afraid to try many things. You might start learning one thing or start taking one course and find out, I don't like this. Or it's not what I want to do, not what I thought it was. Pick another one. There's no limit to how many courses you can take, trainings you can take, videos you can watch. There's no limit to what you can learn. And everything you learn is a good thing. You either learn you like it and you continue on that path, or you learn you don't like it and you change directions. Don't be afraid to try multiple things to find what you want. This is why I like self-education the best, and I wish people would start with self-education first. Some places to get these courses. You can do online at your own pace whenever you want. So there's a couple sites I want to tell you about where you can find courses that are very reasonable priced, short, so if you decide you don't like it, it won't take you long to figure out, and you're not spending tens of thousands of dollars like you do up here with college to decide you want to change. So here's a couple websites. First one, I don't know if it's pronounced Udemy or Udemy. I've heard it pronounced both ways. And Skillshare. Both of these sites offer courses that you can buy. Sometimes as low as $10, then up to maybe a couple hundred, depending on what you want to take, what you want to learn, and try. I suggest buy the cheap $10 course and see if it's something you like. If you don't like it, you're out $10 and maybe a few hours. You can find something else. Or if it's something you do like and you want to know more, that's when you start finding more courses about it. There's two particular courses I do want to mention. One is called Subscribers to Sales, where they teach you how to make YouTube videos and become profitable at them and make it a full-time career. Why do you think I'm making this video? It's a very good course. It was created by a woman named Marissa Romero. Very awesome woman, very smart. Can't recommend her enough. All the links to like her courses, Udemy, Skillshare, I'll put in the description. That way you can find them, you can check them out. They're awesome courses. There's another course I want to recommend that is about affiliate marketing. It's called the Super Affiliate System. It was created by a guy named John Crestani. If you want to know anything about making money online through marketing, that's the course you need to take. Those are the two I would recommend. If you want to get into an online career, that's what you need to look into. Links will be in the description. You can check them out. So I told you there's sites out there where you can learn how to educate yourself. What do you do when you have that education? There are so many things you can do online if that's the direction you want to go that you can learn from these sites, but then you can turn around and you can sell what you just learned, your skills, and make money. And I know that a lot of the older generations say, that's not true. You can't do that. You have to do one of these three, or you have to go and do a trade. You have to do something. With the internet, that's not the case anymore. You can go and learn many things on these sites. You can look up whatever you want, Google whatever you want, and find a course. You know what? If you're looking for something, in the comments of this video, you tell me what you want to learn, and I will try to help you find some way of learning that thing. Don't be afraid to comment and ask questions. The only thing I'll say is no negative comments. If you're looking for help, those are the kind of comments I want. Ask me, if you want to get into photography, I'll give you a link to show you something where you can learn how to be a better photographer or videographer. That's what this video is about, is to learn. And to get out of this traditional path if that's not what you want. So, what do you do when you have some of these skills? What do you do with that? How do you find people that want your service? Here are two websites. One is called Upwork, and the other is Fiverr. Both of these sites, as long as you have internet access, you can do this kind of work wherever, whenever you want. That's the great thing about some of these new options. This is why I really wish we would push self-education more in this country. Go to these sites, learn how to do something, or if you have some natural abilities, go to these sites and you can improve those abilities, grow them. And then you can go to these sites and you can find work and start building a portfolio of your work that you can show people. Maybe you'll learn something here. You go here and you start selling it and you can turn it into a business. Now, I do want to say one thing. If you're going to run an online business, there's one website that you can put your entire business on that I recommend and that I use. And there will be a link in the description where you can see this website. Kartra. Best website I've ever seen. If you decide to do any online work, maybe you decide to do affiliate marketing, maybe you want to do email marketing, maybe you want to host your own website, maybe you want to create your own course. Kartra. You can do it on there, you can load videos, you can create membership sites, all in one. It really is the greatest online tool you can ever have. Because as I said in the intro, unfortunately, everything in this world revolves around money. You have to make money in some way. If you don't want to go this way, or this way, definitely go this way. Learn some skills. Learn how to sell those skills. And if you're going to, I recommend you use this site to sell. Once you get to the point where you've outgrown maybe these types of sites, be independent. I wish when kids were 18, graduating school, we would talk more about trades and self-education, or just as much talk about it as we do things like college. I really believe these are the biggest missed opportunities in our society. So many people are unhappy because they're stuck at college, or they were stuck in a trade, or stuck just doing a job because they didn't know how to do anything else. I really want people to know there is other ways, and you can educate yourself by taking some classes or courses and learning, and you could be much happier. Because you know what? If this doesn't work out, you can always go back to college anytime. And you can always find a job. To me, a job is a safety net. There's always jobs out there if you're willing to do whatever that job opening is. But I really want people to educate themselves and do something that makes them happy. So the stuff I talked about, I will put links in the description. I'm glad you watched this all the way to the end. I'm sorry if it was boring or kind of long, but I just really want people to learn there are other options besides the standard options that we're told about all of our life. So thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.